The world of Hyrule is filled with wonder. There's so much to see and do here, it's absolutely crazy. And one thing that always captivated me was the food. There are many different amazing recipes that have been passed down for generations by different tribes, villages, and races seen around the world. And today, we will explore this beautiful world so I can show you some of the best must-try dishes seen in Hyrule. So welcome to Dr.Wily Uncharted. Now let's go to our first location, Hatano Village, a settlement that's located in East Necluda. This place is rumored to be the hometown of the hero Link from the legends of Ganondorf. And since the destruction of the Kingdom of Hyrule by Calamity Ganon, Hatano is the largest of only two highly impermanent settlements that survived after the Great Calamity. And this is mostly because of the successful defense effort at Fort Hatano. This really allowed them to live. However, thanks to all of this, they have also created some interesting dishes during the hard times. Now, if you look around the village, you can see there are a lot of windmills, Hylian rice fields, apple trees, wild mushrooms, and farm animals like chickens. They are a real farming village, which also helped them a lot during the dark times. And today I will show you how to make 3 wonderful dishes from this region using only fresh ingredients. Now we will begin by making a mushroom risotto, and this is a common dish around here during dinner time. Now in order to make this you need a few mushrooms, a bundle of Hylian rice, 1 serving of goat butter, and a little bit of rock salt. And when you make this dish, the smell of the mushrooms and butter will draw everyone in. It's absolutely beautiful. This is a classic Hatano dish that uses some of the most widely used ingredients that can be found in the village. However, this won't be enough for our little Hatano-inspired feast. So, we will also make something called Poultry Pilaf. For this, you need a few raw bird drumsticks, quite a lot of Hylian rice, a few bird eggs, and a tablespoon of goat butter. And it's key to let the Hylian rice saute in the poultry broth from the drumsticks, and aside from that you need to cook it on a low heat until the rice is nice and fluffy. At this point we got our main and side dish. So now it's time to make a dessert to finish it all off. And we, yes, you and I, are gonna make an egg pudding, which is actually a very simple dish that almost anyone could make. So follow along at home if you want. All you need is some bird eggs, a few bottles of fresh milk, and several servings of cane sugar. They are made by cooking eggs and milk in a special mold, and they are known to have a soft texture that just melts in your mouth. And now, finally, we got everything together for our big Hatano-themed feast, only using stuff that was locally sourced. However, now we will move on to our next location in our big journey, where the cooking culture is once again very different. We will be traveling to the historic village of Kakariko, a place that has been important throughout the ages. Now this trip will take us 2 days, and we will actually go on horseback, which will be quite exciting for sure. Now, here we are, Kakariko Village. This place has existed for centuries, and all that time it has been a Sheikah settlement. And you can notice this right away. It's different from all the other settlements found in Hyrule, because the architecture is quite, unique. And this is because the culture and traditions of the Sheikah are very different compared to the average Hylian. So of course you can also notice this in the food. While the last settlement was famous for its Hylian rice, this village is well known for their swift carrots and fortified pumpkins. On all the different levels of the village they have small vegetable gardens. And this is crucial because the settlement is situated high in the mountains, and so bringing in supplies from the outside can be a bit of a challenge. Now when it comes to classic dishes, there are actually 2 of them that I absolutely love. I got my hands on some local produce from some of the villagers here, and so we will begin with making a starter. It's called pumpkin stew, and sometimes they also eat it during lunch because it can be made in big batches. Now all you need is a fortified pumpkin, a bushel of tabantha wheat, 2 spoons of goat butter, and a pint of fresh milk. It's actually quite a simple recipe. You just throw it all together and let it simmer for 2 hours and you're done. It's jam-packed with flavor and very simple. And so because of that, it's very popular around here. Now for our mains, we will once again do something with a fortified pumpkin. And just like our last dish, this one is again rustic, simple, and filled with flavor. It's a meat-stuffed pumpkin, and this recipe only requires 2 things really. A pumpkin and any type of meat which will be the filling. This is actually a speciality of Kakariko Village. People really try to make an art form out of this. You can add any type of meat, spices, and even veggies to the filling. So a lot of people here have actually come up with their own recipe that's perfect for them. So for a cook like me, it's also a lot of fun to make because I can really experiment. So for my version, I used some goat butter, raw prime meat from an ox, spicy peppers, and swift carrots. It turned out amazing, and it's both spicy and sweet, while still giving me a good beef flavor. But now that we have seen the stunning Kakariko Village, we have to move on to our last location, Gerudo Town. However, we will most likely need special permission because the town has some crazy rules that are backwards and unfair to say the least. But regardless of that, it will take quite a long time to get there, and it's going to be extremely tough. Now in this village you will only find women, and men aren't actually allowed to enter. But because this is television, they were kind enough to let me and the camera crew in. Now these people are also very different compared to the average Hylian. They grew up in a completely different part of the world with a very harsh environment. In a lot of ways they are very limited because almost nothing grows around here. And there's nothing but sand for miles upon miles. So sadly enough, the Gerudo tend to import a lot of their food. However, there's one thing that they specialize in: fruits. The incredible heat here gives them the opportunity to grow a lot of things all year round. And so Gerudo cooking uses fruits a lot. You want something refreshing in this heat after all. Now I will show you another great starter, especially when it's hot out. Creamy heart soup. It's known to be sweet, and sharing this dish is believed to bring 2 people closer together. And so a lot of Gerudo make it for men they fancy. Now what you need in order to make it is a hydro melon, a volt fruit, a pint of fresh milk, and a hearty radish. In the end, you have a sweet, fruity tasting milk with bits of fruit to make it even more refreshing. However, it is a bit of a weird dish compared to everything else seen in Hyrule, but it's certainly delicious. Now we've reached the end of our cooking adventure. We have seen the beautiful fields of Hatano Village, the amazing mountains of Kakariko, and even the scorching hot desert of Gerudo. Now, be sure to join us next week on our other adventure, where I will kill the horrible cameraman. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this episode. It was kind of inspired by like Gordon Ramsay's Uncharted. So I thought, you know what, I can do a bit of a simple parody of like a cooking show. All these recipes, by the way, you can actually make these in the game. These are real. Be sure to subscribe, click the bell button, leave a like, tell me in the comments what you thought about the video, and I love you.